Hello, my name's Sam Blaxland and I'm a postdoctoral fellow here in the History Department at Swansea University. Today I'm in the rather grand and splendid surroundings of Singleton Abbey, which has been the main administrative centre of the university since the early 1920s, when it was handed over to the university by the Vivian family and Lord Swansea. Indeed, the university was opened in the early 1920s, and this is a depiction of the laying of the foundation stone. I know so much about the history of the university now because for the past year I've been writing and researching its history in light of the fact that its centenary is coming up in 2020. Most of my time so far has been spent conducting a really extensive and fascinating oral history project. So far I've spoken to 65 people who are connected in some kind of way to the university and its history. Lots of students and lots of staff as well, not just academic staff, not just senior professors, but people from all across the spectrum. Secretaries, clerical staff, technicians, sports staff, and also people like solicitors. It's given me a really interesting and broad perspective on the university's history. I've heard all kinds of stories from people whose parents were students here in the 1920s and fell in love watching concerts in Singleton Park. I've spoken to people who were members of the Home Guard here in the Second World War and had to wade out into Swansea Bay when they were students to look for unexploded bombs. I've spoken to people who were part of Kingsley Amis's boozy seminars, people who were going on those heady protest marches in the 1970s, and lots of people who've watched the university and the campus expand and develop, particularly as well with the development of the very new and impressive Bay campus. I've also been utilising the more traditional archival side of the research using the excellent facilities at the university's Richard Burton archives. I've been doing lots of public engagement work as well, which has been particularly interesting. I've spoken at the Swansea Science Festival, for example, and also the Being Human Festival in the Waterfront Museum, where I gave talks to mainly young school children about what life was like as a 1920s student here at the university. From now, I really see this project and also the wider university centenary celebrations really taking off. I've got a book to write, and by 2020, the volume that I will produce will be out, chronicling the university's history since 1920, but particularly since the post-war period. And I know that that will be part of much wider and really very exciting celebrations for the university. This is a very exciting time for Swansea University and for everybody who is in some way connected to it. So if anybody has information for me, or if they'd like me to come and speak to them, or if they'd like to get involved with the project in any kind of way, then I'd be delighted to hear from anybody. So please do get in touch.